ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरि ओम तत्सत्। हरि ओम तत्सत्। हरि ओम तत्सत्। तो राम जन्मभूमि में आज रामलला की प्रतिष्ठापना हुई। इसके लिए सबको बधाई। और इसी कारण मुझे जो एक दो बातें याद आ रही है वो मैं बता रहा हूँ, जो अपना अपनी जो चर्चा चल रही है उससे भी रिलेटेड है। वन सच थिंग इज अबाउट शिवा एंड सती। सती, wife of Shiva, and they were meditating in some jungle, at a great place. Shiva was really telling her the spiritual things to his wife Sati. And at that time, the incident took place that Ravana had abducted Sita, and Rama was under great pain. Rama was looking for Sita, and everywhere along with Lakshmana he was moving. लक्ष्मण के साथ घूम रहे थे। पंछी को पूछ रहे कि आपने सीता को देखा है क्या। वनस्पतियों को पूछ रहे थे, उनके आंखों में आंसू थे, बहुत दुखी थे। तो सती ने शिव को ऐसा पूछा कि आप तो कहते थे कि राम तो अवतार है, अवतारी पुरुष है, भगवान के अवतार है। तो फिर अगर भगवान के अवतार है तो इस प्रकार का दुख कैसा प्रकट कर रहे हैं वो। हाउ इज इट दैट लाइक एनी अदर ह्यूमन बीइंग he is having so much of sorrow, he is looking for his wife, and how all this took place at all. If he is really Avtara, he is God himself. That is what you, Shiva, you told me. Then Shiva smiled and he said that, why are you asking me? He is coming in the same jungle. You can go and see him only. So actually, Shiva and Sati both started going in the jungle where Rama was there. And when Rama was at a distance, Shiva said, now you only go and see, because I don't have any doubt like you. You only are having doubt. So now you go and see whatever you can ask him also. So when Sati went and when she actually saw Ram along with Sita. उसने ऐसा देखा कि प्रभु रामचंद्र एक शिला पर बैठे हुए हैं ध्यान में, और उनके साथ सीता है। And when Sati went there, he simply smiled. There was no separation between Sita and Rama at any time. That is what. तो लोक व्यवहार के लिए ये उनकी लीला होती है। When the realized soul is in the human body, he has to act as a human being, and so many kinds of, this is called Leela. It is a sports. Actually, Sita was never separated. Just as Shiva and Shakti, they are always together. Rama and Sita are always together. There was no separation. Whatever happened, Purusha and Prakriti, when they are together, there will be upadhis. And what we see from outside are the upadhis. In our own being also, what we see ourselves as the body, the mind, the senses, these are the upadhis because of Prakriti. And Atman, which is there inside, is in no way connected with it, with the upadhis. And that is what is there. And that is what actually was a Ram Leela, as it is said. और सवेरे में ये सुंदर कांड भी देख रहा था जो गोस्वामी तुलसीदास ने लिखा हुआ है, और उसके पहले ही पेज में मुझे वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग थिंग आई फाउंड अबाउट हनुमान हिमसेल्फ. यू नो, व्हेन दे रीच्ड द रामेश्वरम along with Vanar Sena in search of Sita, Rama went and then they reached Rameshwaram, and then there was ocean only. And they knew that beyond ocean somewhere she is, and somebody has to go there, really speaking, and find out where Sita is. Who will go? And none of them had the capacity to go. But then there was old Jambuan, very intelligent among the Vanaras, the oldest among them was Jambuana. And that Jambuana, so that is what is written here. I will not read it. गोस्वामी तुलसीदास ने बहुत ही अच्छा वर्णन किया है रामचरितमानस में. और वो जाता है उसके पास, हनुमान के पास, और बोलता है कि तू क्यों चुप बैठा है, तुम्हारे में तो पूरी शक्ति है, तुम लांग सकते हो ये. And then he says that you all start chanting, you start reminding him that you are all powerful, Hanuman, and you can easily cross over this ocean. And they go on chanting like that, and Hanuman's body actually becomes golden and very huge. It goes on increasing like that. And he says, don't worry, I will be able to just cross. And he flies across the ocean. Now, this is very much related. This is what precisely Ashtavakra is also telling. That what Hanuman somehow, because of the actually curse which he had forgotten his original nature. हनुमान जी जो अपनी शक्ति थी उसको भूल गए थे, एक शाप के कारण भूल गए थे. और जब उनको याद आया कि वो तो he can do anything and everything, he can very easily go. Now this is precisely what Ashtavakra is telling Janaka and all of us, in fact, through Janaka, that we are actually the pure consciousness, the Atman. We are everywhere. We are the supreme consciousness, universal consciousness. But we have forgotten ourselves. We are considering ourselves as body, mind, senses. If that forgetfulness goes, we shall realize that we are the pure being. That is the difference between the realized soul. He recognizes that he is Atman. We have forgotten that we are Atman, just as Hanuman had forgotten. As soon as he remembered it, he could fly across the ocean. So we can also fly across the Bhavasagara, ocean of samsara, and reach that supreme state of consciousness. So that is what actually Ashtavakra is telling. We are on the chapter 17 of Ashtavakra Gita, and we had come up to the stanza number 10, where in all these stanzas, actually the characteristics of realized soul, they have been told by Ashtavakra. Ashtavakra जीवन मुक्त के लक्षण ये सारे जो श्लोक है उनमें बता रहे हैं, और जो हमको भगवत गीता में भी दिखाई देते हैं एवरीवेयर. सो श्लोका नंबर 10 tells a very great characteristic of जीवन मुक्त. न जागर्ति न निद्राति नोन्मीलति न मीलति अहो परदशा क्वापि वर्तते मुक्त चेतसः. Mukta Chetasa, one who is free from mind. Chetas is mind. Mukta Chetasa means one who has freedom from the mind, one who has who has become जीवन मुक्त. सो जो मुक्त पुरुष है, न जागरती, वो जागृतावस्था में भी नहीं होता है, न निद्राती, he is not sleeping, नो न उन्मीलती न मीलती, न वो आंखें खोलता है ना आंखें बंद करता है. He is not closing the eyes, he is not opening the eyes. अहो परदशा क्वापी, in all circumstances, everywhere, at all times, he is in supreme consciousness. अहो परदशा क्वापी वर्तते मुक्त चेतसा. कौन सी भी अवस्था में हमेशा वो परम स्थिति में ही रहता है. सो ए लिविंग लिबरेटेड नाइदर स्लीप्स nor remains awake, neither closes his eyes nor open his eyes. He remains in supreme state of consciousness anywhere and at all times. That is what shloka number 10 tells us. Now, ordinary people like us, we experience the three states of consciousness at all times. जागृत, स्वप्न, सुषुप्ति. इसके बारे में हमने चर्चा भी की है कि we experience dream, we are in wakeful state, and we also have deep sleep states. These are the only three states of consciousness which we are experiencing. The realized soul is always in the fourth state of consciousness, turiya state. Yat swapna jagara sushuptam avaiti nityam. स्वप्न, जागर और सुषुप्ति में जो एक कायम अवस्था रहती है, तुरिया, दैट अवेयरनेस, दैट सुप्रीम कॉन्शियसनेस, the enlightened soul remains only in that supreme consciousness. Okay. He is always awake, to the supreme consciousness. जैसा भगवद गीता में भी very similar stanza you find in Bhagavad Gita. या निशा सर्वभूतानां तस्याम जागर्ति संयमी यस्याम जागृति भूतानि सा निशा पश्यतो मुने. In second chapter, the 69th shloka of second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, it tells या निशा सर्वभूतानाम. जो सब जीवों के लिए रात है, उस समय संयमी जागृत अवस्था में रहता है. तस्याम जागृति संयमी यस्याम जागृति भूतानि सा निशा पश्यतो मुने. जो हमारी रात है वो उसके लिए दिन है. He remains awake. What does it mean? And where we are awake, the jnani sleeps. Where we are awake, actually, we are awake to the world outside. We are attracted to the things of the world, whatever events taking place around us, the things around us. We are awake to the samsarika things, to the worldly objects. Where we are sleeping? We are sleeping as far as the Atman is concerned. We do not know the nearest thing, our true nature, the consciousness which is right there in our heart. We are sleeping there. We are not aware of that. Ya nisha sarvabhutanam tasyam jagarti sayami. Sayami, the enlightened being, is awake as far as Atman is concerned. He is sleeping as far as the world is concerned. He has no concern about whatever is happening around in the world. So that is what is the state of affairs for the jnani. The living liberated is so much disconnected from the world that nothing in this world makes him blink or wink his eyes. That is why he says, non milita na milati. Nothing in the world makes him wink or blink or close his eyes because he is not connected with the world at all. There is no attraction or repulsion of anything. He is neither attracted to anything nor averse to anything. Likes and dislikes have gone. So that is because he is free from mind. Vartate mukta chetasaha. When freedom from mind is the essential thing. Muktam nirvishayam manaha. जो मन मुक्त होता है वो निर्विषय होता है. जब मन निर्विषय हो जाता है वो वासना रहित हो जाता है, मुक्त हो जाता है. और इस श्लोक में ऐसे ज्ञानी को मुक्त चेतसः ऐसा कहा है, फ्री फ्रॉम द माइंड। ये अमनस्क स्थिति है, द स्टेट ऑफ नो माइंड, इसी को तुर्यावस्था ऐसा कहते हैं। सो ही इज इन द फोर्थ स्टेट ऑफ कॉन्शियसनेस। लेट अस गो टू द नेक्स्ट श्लोक। सर्वत्र दृश्यते स्वस्थः सर्वत्र विमलाशयः समस्त वासना मुक्तो मुक्तः सर्वत्र राजते। हम्म। सर्वत्र दृश्यते स्वस्थः, स्वस्थ, स्वस्थ, that means established in the self। मुक्त पुरुष सर्वत्र स्वस्थ यानी आत्मस्थित होता है, स्व में स्थित, आत्मस्थित। सो मुक्त पुरुष सर्वत्र, एट एनीवेयर, एवरीवेयर, इन ऑल कंडीशंस, he is established in the self। सर्वत्र विमलाशयः, विमल आशय, pure mind, mind which is, he is in, mind is impure if mind has vrittis. You know, any vritti in the mind will create some sort of impurity. Vimalashaya means he is totally silent. He has pure mind. What is pure mind? Samasta vasana mukto. If there is no desire at all, absolutely no, freedom from desire. Desires only make the mind impure. So his Vimalashaya means his mind is free from any desire. Mukta sarvatra rajate. He is ever liberated. So the liberated being is seen abiding in the self, swastaha, everywhere, sarvatra, and free from desires at all times. Samasta vasana mukto. No desire at all. He is totally pure. He remains free from in all conditions. Mukta sarvatra rajase. तो मुक्त पुरुष सर्वत्र स्वस्थ यानी आत्मस्थित होता है, पूर्ण रूप से शुद्ध होता है, सारी वासनाओं से मुक्त होता है और हमेशा किसी भी स्थिति में मुक्त ही रहता है। सो दीज आर द कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स ऑफ ए लिबरेटेड सोल which Ashtavakra is describing. So now, as far as we are concerned, if we go to the psychology, Sigmund Freud says that there are vasanas in us, and amongst the vasanas, particularly in the unconscious mind, what chetasaha, our chetas, the bulk portion of our chetas is unconscious, abodha mana। फ्राइड ऐसा कहता है कि 80% अपना जो मन है वो अबोध मन, अनकॉन्शियस माइंड। And in that unconscious mind, there are so many desires which are unconscious desires, really speaking. And amongst them, Freud says that there are two major desires. One is called Jiveshana, other is called Mrityueshana. The desire to live. Every creature, the most instinctive desire, the basic desire is desire to live. Nobody wants to die. Everybody wants to survive. From that, the instinct of survival comes. I want to protect myself. I must live. This is Jiveshana, the basic instinct which is there in the unconscious mind of all the creatures, all the living beings. And Freud also found out later on that there is what is known as desire to die as well, Mrityueshana. And he says it is because of Mrityueshana that the things like violence arise in us. We are prepared to die for certain things. That is called Mrityueshana. इसीलिए मनुष्य हिंसक भी हो जाता है कभी कभी मृत्युएषणा के कारण। सो जीवेषणा और मृत्युएषणा ये अचेतन में होती है। इट इज इन द अनकॉन्शियस माइंड। हियर द वर्ड यूज इज विमलाशय। व्हाट इज विमलाशय? One whose unconscious is also totally cleaned. You know, we say that we are pure people because at the conscious level we may be very pure. Conscious mind is only some 10% of the mind is conscious mind. The mind of which we are aware is hardly 10%. Actually, Freud compared the mind with an iceberg whose 1/8 portion is above water, 7/8 below water. That which is below water he called unconscious, because we are not aware of that mind at all. We are not aware at all. Bulk of the mind we are not aware. Okay. Now Vimalashaya means even that unconscious thing also has been cleaned up. विमलाशय सब जो अबोध मन है, वो अबोध मन भी जिसका शुद्ध हो सका है, उसकी सारी ऐषणाएं खत्म हो जाएगी. दैट इज वाई समस्त वासना मुक्ता. All his desires, even desire for survival, the desire to live or desire, all ऐषणाs will go. So जीवन मुक्त वासना रहित होने के कारण पूर्ण रूप से शुद्ध हो जाता है, ऐषणा रहित हो जाता है. सो दैट इज व्हाट. और जो ऐषणा रहित हुआ, बाह्य चीजों का कोई भी असर उसके ऊपर नहीं हो सकता, बाह्य परिस्थिति का उस पर कोई भी असर नहीं हो सकता. सो दैट इज व्हाट another very important characteristic. Vimalashaya is the key word. And then a very important verse which reminds us directly the verse of a Gita. Pashyan shrunvan sprushan jigran ashnan grunhan vadan vrajam ihitani hite muktaha mukta eva mahashayaha. In all actions, the living liberated is free even while seeing, passion, seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, eating, accepting, speaking, walking. स्पश्यन, श्रृण्वन, स्पृशन, जिघ्रन, देखते हुए, स्पर्श करते हुए, सूंघते हुए, खाते हुए, स्वीकारते हुए, बोलते हुए, चलते हुए. At all times he is in freedom. All his actions are free. That is why nothing really binds him at all. None of these actions bind him. Ihitani hite muktaha. Why nothing binds him? Because he doesn't have this idea that this is beneficial for me and this is not beneficial. ये मेरे लिए हितकारक है और ये मेरे लिए हितकारक नहीं है, या ये अहितकारक है. हित और अहित, इन भावनाओं से वो मुक्त होता है. We are always, whatever we are doing, even while eating, we'll see that is it healthy food or is it going to take. While eating, while walking, while talking, all the time, consciously or unconsciously, we are thinking about whether it is beneficial for me, ये मुझे नुकसान करेगा या फायदा करेगा. फायदा और नुकसान की भावना हमारे अंदर रहती है. ये भावना जो जीवन मुक्त है उसमें बिल्कुल ही रहती नहीं है. सो इज फ्री. हितानि हिते मुक्ता मुक्त एवं महाशयाः. दैट इज व्हाई ही इज कॉल्ड एज अ ग्रेट पर्सन. जीवन मुक्त महापुरुष होता है. और इसलिए सो लिविंग लिबरेटेड इज इन ए स्टेट ऑफ समाधि ऑल द टाइम्स. इट इज समाधि. ही इज practicing samadhi in action. This is the beauty of it. We feel that samadhi sthiti is something whether body, mind, senses, everything is still. हमारी ऐसी संकल्पना होती है कि समाधि स्थिति में तो सब कुछ स्थिर हो जाता है. There is no movement of the body, no movement of the mind. It is, if you look at Patanjali's samadhi, it is kumbhaka at all levels. When body becomes totally steady, it is shaririko kumbhaka. At pranic level, it is pranayama kumbhaka. When there is chitta vritti nirodha, no activity of the mind, mental kumbhaka. So we find that achala sthira sthiti is samadhi. While in Jivan Mukta's case, it is dynamic aspect of samadhi, which we are seeing. So walking, talking, speaking, he is in samadhi. His samadhi is not disturbed because of action. This is samadhi in action, a very beautiful thing which has also been told In Bhagavad Gita, the same shloka you can find. Pashyan Shrunvan Sprashan Jigran, Nashnan Gachan Shwapain Shwasan, Pralapan Visurjan Grundan, Nunmishan Nimishan Napi, Indriyani Indriyartheshu Artanta iti dharayan. That is what Bhagavad Gita says. That he is only witnessing. He is a witness to his action. Indriyani Indriyartheshu Vartanta iti dharayan. इंद्रिया कार्य कर रही है, मन कार्य कर रहा है, शरीर कार्य कर रहा है, मैं तो केवल साक्षी हूं, ये सारे कार्य का मैं साक्षी हूं. दैट इज व्हाट भगवत गीता ऑल्सो सेज. सो जीवन मुक्त अपनी इंद्रियों द्वारा जो भी क्रियाएं होती है उसका केवल साक्षी रहता है, उसमें कर्तापन का अभाव होता है. दैट इज व्हाई ही इज नॉट द डूअर. और इसलिए कर्म सिद्धांत के वो परे जाता है. वी आर बाउंड बाय कर्म सिद्धांत, सो वी आर बाउंड बाय एक्शन एंड द फ्रूट ऑफ एक्शन. ही इज फ्री फ्रॉम एक्शन एज वेल एज फ्रूट ऑफ एक्शन. ही गोज बियॉन्ड कर्म सिद्धांत. इसलिए कोई भी कर्म उसको बद्ध नहीं कर सकते. दैट इज व्हाट रियली श्लोका नंबर 12 is telling us. Let us see 13th shloka now. न निंदति न च स्तौति न ऋष्यति न कुप्यति न ददाति न गृह्णाति मुक्त सर्वत्र नीरसः. So the liberated, न निंदति, the realized soul doesn't criticize anyone. न निंदति, किसी भी प्रकार की उसकी निंदा, किसी की वो निंदा नहीं करेगा. Nor he will praise anybody. Na stauti, he will not praise anybody. He will not criticize on. Na rushyati na kupyati, he will not be pleased with anybody. He will not get angry with anybody. Kupyati. Na dadati na grunnati, he will take anything nor give anything. Mukta sarvatra nirasaha. Nirasa, he is disinterested in everything. All the actions which he does, they are disinterested action. Okay, so जीवन मुक्त न किसी की निंदा करता है, न स्तुति करता है, किसी से न उसको हर्ष होता है, न क्रोध होता है, वह किसी से न कुछ लेता है, न किसी को कुछ देता है. उसे अब किसी भी चीज में रस नहीं होता. नीरसा, डिसइंटरेस्टेड इन एवरीथिंग. सो दैट इज क्यों? क्योंकि इंटरेस्ट एंड डिसइंटरेस्ट दे आर प्रॉपर्टीज ऑफ माइंड. वो मुक्त चेतस हो चुका है. जीवन मुक्त अमनस्क अवस्था में होता है. ही इज इन स्टेट ऑफ नो माइंड. Aversion, attraction, they are the qualities of mind. It is the mind which get attracted to something or averse to something. तो मनोव्यापारों से मुक्त होने के कारण, यानी अमनस्क स्थिति में होने के कारण, निंदा, स्तुति, क्रोध, हर्ष, ये सारे मनोव्यापार है. These are the activities of mind. He is in a state of no mind. And that is why he अमनस्क स्थिति में हो जाने के कारण he is always in a state of bliss in a way. That is why he is established in the self. स्वस्थ, last verse we saw. तो जीवन मुक्त आत्मानंद में ऐसा डूबा हुआ होता है कि सांसारिक सुख दुख मोह, वो आत्मन्येव आत्मना तुष्टः स्थित प्रज्ञस्तदोच्यते. He is in the self only and nothing in the external world affects him in any way. Now, how much that attraction and aversion, next sloka number 14 is telling us, Sanuragam striyam drishtva mrityu va samupasthitam avivala mana swastha mukta eva mahashayah. Sanuraga striyam drishtva, sa anuraga striyam, kamatura stri. Okay, very passionate woman. Even if a very passionate woman approaches him, he has no difference. He is not neither attracted nor averse to her. या मृत्यु भी उसके समीप, Mrityum drishtva samupastitam. He is facing the death. He is not perturbed by facing the death. He is not perturbed by a very passionate woman in front of him. Avivvala manaha. His mind, in no way his mind is affected because he has no mind at all. Swastho. He is established in the self. Mukta eva mahashaya. He is always in Atma Sthiti. He is always in a state of bliss. So when you are always in infinite consciousness, when you are with infinite bliss, how you can get attracted towards the possibility of bliss through the senses, through the mind, or any kind of fear? That is what. So इसलिए these are the two major forces. Why he has mentioned about Sanuraga Striyam Dushtva Mrutyuva Samupastitam? Two great forces which can perturb anyone. They are the attraction for the opposite sex. These are the tests whether you are established in the self or not. Okay. And the fear of death. मृत्यु का भय और स्त्री के लिए आकर्षण और फॉर द अपोजिट सेक्स इटसेल्फ. जैसा मेनका को देखकर विश्वामित्र इतना बड़ा तपस्वी था, लेकिन मेनका को देखकर उसकी तपस्या ढल गई विद इन नो मोमेंट. सो दैट इज द ग्रेटेस्ट चैलेंज. सेक्स इज द ग्रेटेस्ट चैलेंज. और अगर मृत्यु प्राप्त हुआ तो भले भले मृत्यु के लिए डरते हैं. बट वी नो अबाउट नचिकेता. व्हेन वी हैव learned about Kathopanishad, we learned that Nachiketa himself goes to Yamaloka on his own, faces the death, has a dialogue with the death. All the great people, first thing is they are not at all afraid of death. They can face that. Socrates faced the death. Mirabai, even after taking poison, she could face the death. Nachiketa actually went to Yamaloka. And when Yama said, when he asked the secret of death, and when he asked the secret of the spiritual thing, he gave him so many pralobhana. And in that, even the most beautiful damsels, even the music, Tavaiva Vaha Tavanritya Gite. That is what we learned in Kathoparishad. Nachiketa tells him that this music, these beauties, let them be with you only, Yama. I am in no way connected with him. This is what is known as realized soul. So, actually in Buddha's life also it is said that one day a very passionate woman came to where Buddha was staying, because he was only 35 years old when he was enlightened actually. And such people, they are like magnets attracting everybody. Not that the woman was bad or she had bad intention. Simply like a magnet, she was attracted towards Buddha. And he was staying in a hut, somewhat in a secluded place. She knocked at her his residence, and when sometime in the midnight or maybe at about 2 o'clock or something, he opened the door. He saw that beautiful woman. As soon as he saw the woman, he bowed down to her, touched her feet, and said, "Mother, what your son, how your son can serve you?" माता, तुम्हारा पुत्र कैसी तुम्हारी सेवा कर सकता है? This is what is enlightened being means. That's why he was Buddha. And not only him, even you will see that many of the people, even in the recent times,
Vivekanand.
they were not afraid of. Hello? Hello?
No, sir, Vivekanand.
Even Swami Nityananda. Oh, Vivekananda also, he was not at all so. Vivekananda writes in one of his saying that one thing which I can tell you, is that not even once the idea of sex came to my mind, because Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, these two things, hmm, Kanaka Kanchana Nivrutti, this was one of the things. And why it is like that? Because the same energy which becomes sexual energy is converted into spiritual energy. This is the secret of it. That is why you will find that those who are after the, the spiritual things, they refrain from sexual contact. They become brahmacharis. That is the secret of it. Because then the sexual energy becomes ojas. When they do sadhana, the same sexual energy becomes ojas. When it becomes ojas, you are so powerful. That is why such people, when they speak, when they give advice, people are changed. You know, the same theory can be told by anybody, same philosophy can be told by anybody. But when Ashtavakra tells it, it directly enters into your heart. If Vishwamitra tells it, if Vasishtha tells it, if great saint tells it enters into your heart. Why? Because of ojas. द सेम शब्द के पीछे जो शक्ति होती है, शब्द महत्वपूर्ण नहीं रखते। शब्द के पीछे जो शक्ति होती है वो ओजस की होती है। दैट इज द स्पिरिचुअल पावर, यू नो। एंड इवन स्वामी नित्यानंद इन बिहार स्कूल ऑफ योग, ही टोल्ड, मेरा आखिर का समय अभी आ गया है। And he actually left the body very consciously, very recent times. So these are not only cock and bull stories. There are so many people who have faced the death, who have died with awareness and all that. Anyway, let us go further. 15 श्लोक, सुख दुखे नरे नार्याम संपत्सु च विपत्सु च विशेषो नैव धीरस्य सर्वत्र समदर्शनः। सुख दुख नरे, सुख दुख स्त्री पुरुष संपत्ति विपत्ति, इन द्वंद्वों में बुद्धिमान समत्व दृष्टिवान पुरुष अविचल रहता है। नैव धीरस्य सर्वत्र समदर्शना। He is always equanimous, and therefore this sukha dukkha, nara nari, sampatti vipatti, these are the dvandvas. In these dvandvas, he remains equanimous. So three important pairs of opposites are mentioned in this verse: happiness and misery, then man and woman, wealth and poverty. So these are the three important dvandvas, conflicting situations, which perturb our balance. We become imbalanced because of one of these same things. Suppose if tomorrow sampatti goes and vipatti comes, we are all great poverty. It will move you. It will move everybody, you know, but not a person of realization. Whether food is there, food is not there, sampatti cha vipatti cha. And there are people, there are incidences in which the vipatti has been accepted as sampatti. You know, Buddha and others, they told that vipatti, that means calamity. Calamity purifies you. So Buddha went on asking for dukkha everywhere, because he said dukkha purifies. You know, vipatti hi chitta vikasam आता, दुजान हो सद्गुरु बोधदाता. Very beautifully said. Vipatti hi chitta vikasam आता. Every calamity has come to you. If you face the calamity properly with equanimity, it becomes chitta vikasam आता. Chitta vikasam आता, expansion of consciousness. It gives you opportunity to expand your consciousness. Any calamity, one who sees opportunity in that calamity, vipatti chitta vikasam आता, दुजान हो सदगुरु बोधदाता. विपत्ति जैसा दूसरा सदगुरु नहीं है बोध देने वाला. This is what our saints are saying, you know. So this is what is said here. Why? Because if you can have that samatvam yoga uchyate, in all these dvandvas, one who remains equanimous, he is a yogi. Samatvam yoga uchyate. So बुद्धिमान पुरुष इस सारे द्वंद्वों में समत्व समान रहता है, समत्व के भावना से रहता है. सो लेट अस गो फर्दर. न हिंसा नैव कारुण्यम नौद्धत्यम न च दीनता नाश्चर्यम नैव च क्षोभः क्षीण संसरणे निरये. नो इमोशनल डिस्टर्बेंसेस एट ऑल. न हिंसा. ए मैन, he will not have, जिसका भवसागर क्षीण हो गया है. क्षीण संसरणे नरे. भवसागर जिसका क्षीण हो गया है, one who has withdrawn from the world, one who is not seeing the world at all. जिस पुरुष का भवसागर क्षीण हो गया है, क्षीण संसरणे नरे, उसके लिए उसके लिए न हिंसा है, न करुणा है, न औद्धत्य है. ही नाइदर ईगोइस्टिक nor violent nor compassionate nor meekness. न च दीनता. He is not meek, he is not egoistic, he is not compassionate, he is not violent. That means there are no such emotional disturbances in a man of realization. Why? And there is no wonder and excitement. न आश्चर्यम नैव च क्षोभा. आश्चर्य भी नहीं होता कि अरे ऐसा कैसा हुआ, ये सुनामी कहाँ से आ गई, इतना इतना घोर अन्याय क्यों हो गया. नो आश्चर्य. न च क्षोभा, एंगर. अन्याय के, इफ अन्याय हो गया तो मैं लड़ूंगा. एंग्री. द रियलाइज सोल हैज नो क्षोभा, no wonder, no excitement, no meekness. That means all these, they are chitta vrittis only. You know, the only thing is because he is in a state of amanaska sthiti jiski hai, how he will be concerned with the waves. He has become an ocean. He has withdrawn himself from the waves. Okay, so that is what is called as sthita prajna. You know, that is why when sthita prajna lakshanas, if you see in Bhagavad Gita, in the second chapter from 53 onwards, he says, what is sthita prajna? Dukkeshu anudvigna manaha, sukeshu vigata spuraha, vita raga bhayak krodha, sthitadhir munir uchyate. No emotions at all. दुख से उसका उसमें उद्विग्नता मन में नहीं आती है, सुख की इच्छा नहीं रहती है. सुखेशु विगत स्पृहा, वीत राग भय क्रोधा. न उसमें कोई भय है, न उसको कोई क्रोध है, न उसको कोई अटैचमेंट है. स्थितधि मुनि उच्यते. He has become muni. Muni means totally silent person, one who has attained to mauna, silence, total silence. That means he is free from the waves. Okay, and that is what that is the state. That is what was described by Mirabai also. भवसागर सूख गयो, फिकर नहीं मोहे तरन न की. भवसागर, ये जो वर्ल्ड इज नोन एज भवसागर, वो पूरा सूख गया है. सागर अगर सूख जाएगा तो उसमें लहरें नहीं होगी. there are no waves at all. फिकर नहीं मोहे तरन न की. Now I don't have that fear of swimming across the ocean because there is no ocean at all. Ocean has dried up. That is what Meera says. Anybody wants to ask anything? I heard some words, so I thought that somebody wants. So that is what the state is. Let us go to the next verse, number 18. समाधाना समाधान हिता हिता विकल्पना शून्य चित्तो न जानति कैवल्यमिव संस्थिताः. So शून्य चित्तो. So these are all. So the first characteristic of Jivan Mukta is Shunya Chitta. अमनस्क स्थिति, द स्टेट ऑफ नो माइंड. सो शून्य चित्त जो हो गया है, when there is no mind at all, चित्त उसका शून्य हो गया, तो उसमें समाधान असमाधान, देर इज नथिंग लाइक समाधान या असमाधान. देर इज, सो ही हैज नो satisfaction in something or dissatisfaction. हित अहित विकल्पना, बेनिफिशियल नॉन बेनिफिशियल, गेन और लॉस, ये मेरा फायदेमंद है, ये नुकसान करने वाला है. हित अहित विकल्पना. शून्य चित्तो न जानाति कैवल्यमिव संस्थिता. ही इज इन स्टेट ऑफ कैवल्य. ही इज लिबरेटेड. एंड सो नो सच ideas, no such things occur to him at all. Hita, ahita, samadhana, asamadhana, all these things, they do not come to him at all. Nirmamo nirankaro. So next, 19th shloka we shall see.
सर
Nirmamo,
मधला
yes,
17वा राहिला मला वाटतं मधला.
17 राहिले.
हा स्किप झाला बहुतेक.
अच्छा, so
न मुक्तो विषय.
न मुक्तो विषय.
let me see, let me see. 17 shloka I will see. Just a minute, just a second. हाँ, न मुक्तो विषय द्वेष्टा नवा विषय लोलुपः असंसक्त मना नित्यम प्राप्ता प्राप्तम उपाश्नुते. सो द सेम थिंग एक्चुअली. न मुक्त विषय द्वेष्टा, विषयों का द्वेष नहीं करता है. लिविंग लिबरेटेड, he has neither aversion nor craving. न विषय लोलुपः, he is not attached to any objects. Neither he hates any object. Neither hate nor attachment. That is what I said also, I think, Pravidi. Asamsakta mana nityam. So, ever detached mind, असंसक्त मना, उसका मन किसी भी प्रकार से आसक्त नहीं है विषयों से, और वो विषयों का द्वेष भी नहीं करता है. नित्यम प्राप्ता प्राप्तम उपाश्नुते. सो प्राप्ता, प्राप्त अप्राप्त, whatever is attained, अप्राप्त what is not attained, he is happy whether you get something or whether you do not get. So the liberated one has neither aversion nor craving for objects of the senses. Ever with detached mind, he experiences both what is attained and what is not attained. He is happy if he attains something. He is happy if things do not come to him. So that is what. So he is detached person. That is what he says. So that is sloka number 17 and 18. We have seen samadhana, samadhana. So actually, all these slokas, the same thing is more or less repeated in all these slokas. Why it is like that? Because 19 is now telling us निर्ममो निरहंकारो न किंचिदपि निश्चितः अंतर्गलित सर्वाशः कुर्वन्नपि न करोति, कुर्वन्नपि करोति न. सो निर्ममो, सो निरहंकारः, निरहंकार, egoless, one who has no ego is nirahankara. Nirmamo, who has no idea of me and mine. Mama, मैं और मेरा, ये सारी संकल्पना, ये भाव जिसमें नहीं है, अहंकार जिसमें नहीं है. न किंचित इति निश्चिता. Why? Because there is nothing existing at all. Having realized that nothing exists, न किंचित इति निश्चिता, we get attracted towards the thing because we feel that the world is existing. We feel that the things are existing. जो सारी चीजें, सांसारिक चीजें हम देखते हैं, वो अस्तित्व में है ऐसा हमको लगता है अज्ञान के वजह से. वो अस्तित्व में है क्या? वो चित्तवृत्ति है. चित्तवृत्ति के कारण हमको अस्तित्व का आभास होता है। ओके, और फिर उसमें ममत्व पैदा होता है कि आई वांट दिस, दिस इज माइन, दिस इज नॉट माइन। उससे अहंकार, मैं हूं, ये भाव निर्माण होता है, अहंकार निर्माण होता है। वन हु अंडरस्टैंड न किंचिदपि, निश्चित ही, निश्चित रूप से जो देख रहा है कि अस्तित्व, जगत का अस्तित्व है ही नहीं, नथिंग इज एग्जिस्टिंग, then the idea of me and mine is will go. The idea of ego will fall off. The inner desires, antargalita sarva asha, all the desires will fall off. Galita, very beautifully said. Not you are suppressing the desires, just as the leaves, when they become ripe, they fall off. Fruits, when they become ripe, automatically they fall off. Like that, गलित इच्छा, गलित सर्वाशा, सारी इच्छाएं गल जाती है. At why? Because there is nothing for desiring at all. He sees nothing which can be desired of. When that state comes, kurvan api karoti na. Even while acting, as if he is not acting, because he is beyond the law of karma. कुर्वन् अपि करोति न, करते हुए भी वो अकर्ता रहता है, कर्तापन का भाव उसमें नहीं रहता है. इवन व्हेन ही इज एक्टिंग, ही इज नॉट एक्टिंग. कर्मण्य कर्म यः पश्येत् अकर्मणि च कर्म यः सबुद्धिमान मनुष्येषु सयुक्त कृष्ण कर्म कुरु. दिस इज कॉल्ड एक्शन इन इनएक्शन and inaction in action. In Bhagavad Gita, very beautifully it is said. No, this is very strange, But in Bhagavatam, you find a very beautiful story. Uh, once Durvasa Muni, यमुना के उस पार दुर्वास मुनि आते हैं एक यज्ञ के लिए. बड़ा यज्ञ होता है. And Durvasa is known for his anger and sharp. He was very extraordinary ऋषि actually speaking. लेकिन यज्ञ ये ऐसी प्रक्रिया होती है कि जिसमें बिल्कुल गलतियां नहीं चलती. तो वो आए वहां और यज्ञ का संकल्प उन्होंने लिया और उन्होंने सत्यभामा वाइफ ऑफ श्री कृष्णा, वाइफ ऑफ श्री कृष्णा, उसको उन्होंने कहा कि आपको ये सब देखना है. और सत्यभामा और कृष्णा, दे वर स्टेइंग ऑन दिस साइड ऑफ यमुना एंड दुर्वासा मुनि वाज स्टेइंग ऑन द अदर साइड because he wanted seclusion. So he said that at dawn you have to come with all that samugri, yajna samugri and falahara, because before sunrise I have to finish everything. I have to take that falahara also. Then whole day I will not take, I will be performing yajna. And you know that I don't tolerate mistakes. और अगर गलती हो गई तो फिर शाप दे दूंगा मैं. दुर्वासा was known for giving sharp, and instantaneously it will take place. So naturally she was full of tension, and some few days went on very nicely. But on the third day, when she went early in the morning and at dawn, यमुना को बहुत बड़ी बाढ़ आई हुई थी. It was flooded totally, and how to cross? She cannot cross. And if she comes late, उसको शाप मिल जाएगा. तो कृष्ण पे पास दौड़ती हुई आई और उसने पूछा कि यमुना को बाढ़ आई है, मैं कैसा जाऊं, जा ही नहीं सकती. Then Krishna told her very calm and quietly and smilingly he told, यमुना को बताओ कि कृष्ण अगर सदा सर्वकाल ब्रह्मचारी है तो मुझे रास्ता दे दो. Now Satyabhama was wife of Krishna, but then she had no time even to doubt. She ran and she said the same thing. भगवान कृष्ण अगर सदा ब्रह्मचारी है, मुझे रास्ता दे दो. Immediately there was a way. Yamuna gave the way, very nice way, and Very nicely she reached. Durvasa Rishi was very happy. She said, you are really pativrata ho tum. Or I will bless you for this. And she gave. Now to come back again, how to come back? Because there was the flood, you know. तो दुर्वासा ऋषि ने उनके सामने ही फलाहार किया था, और उनको वो फलाहार कर रहे थे, उसी समय जाके पूछिए, आई तो मैं कृष्ण के with blessings of Krishna have come. Now how do I go back? Durvasa told him, tell Yamuna that if Durvasa is Nitya Upavasi, give me the way. And she went. She could not challenge because Durvasa, she knew, and she told that Durvasa, if he is Nitya Upavasi, give me the way, and Yamuna gave the way. Now how this happened? How this happened? That is because Kurvannapi na lipyate. Kurvannapi karoti na. Krishna was ever brahmachari because he was not a physical being at all. Durvasa was nitya upavasi. That external eating or not eating, upavasa really means staying near God. That is the real meaning of upavasa. We mistake. We take fasting for upavasa. We, the ordinary people, we think fasting is upavasa. Okay. He was always with God, Durvasa Muni. So he was Nitya Upavasi. So this is what really means Karmanya Karmaya Pashyet Akarmanicha Karmaya. So apparently, though they were performing actions, it was in inaction because both of them were realized souls. This is what is said in this. Okay. So before we let us see the last sloka as well, so that we can finish this chapter number 17. मनः प्रकाश सम्मोहः स्वप्न जाड्य विवर्जिताः दशाम कामपि संप्राप्तो भवेत गलित मानसः. Again this beautiful word has come, galita manasa. Galita manasa, elimination of mind. Amanaska sthiti, the state of no mind. So such a realized sage in a state of no mind, all functions of the mind being eliminated, such a state of mind is indescribable. Dasha kamapi samprapto. And he is not thinking, imagining, dreaming, nor he has a dull mind. Manah prakasha sammoha swapna jadya vivarjitaha. We feel that जीवन मुक्त यानी ज्ञानी अमनस्क स्थिति में होता है, और इस अवस्था का वर्णन असंभव है. यू कैनॉट रियली, इट इज इनडिस्क्राइबेबल, अनिर्वचनीय अवस्था है वह, क्योंकि ज्ञानी न सोचता है, न स्वप्न देखता है, न मोहित होता है, न जड़ मानस स्थिति में है. सो वी मे फील दैट if he is not getting angry, he is not thinking, he is not dreaming, he is not infatuated. So that means he must be like a stone. Stone also doesn't get stone. पत्थर तो जड़ होता है, उसमें जाड्य भी नहीं है. He is not become tamasic. He has no jada manasa. Okay. He is fully aware. Actually, his awareness is so full that he is in Atma Sthiti. He is aware only of the supreme consciousness, and that is, he is not aware of the individual consciousness. All these things, मोहित होना, स्वप्न देखना, क्रोध होना, सोचना, these are the functions of the mind. Amanaska galita manasa. When there is no mind at all, there will be no waves in the mind, and therefore, but that is not jada avastha. That is not a state of tamasikata, a state of he has not become insentient being. So we must note that the state of no mind is not dull state of mind, stone like mind. It is Mind is not functioning, but it is lit by the luminosity of Atman. आत्म प्रकाश से वो मन प्रभावित हुआ है। इस प्रकार ये सारा जो प्रकरण है, ये प्रकरण में ऋषि अष्टावक्र ज्ञानी का वर्णन कर रहे हैं, स्थित प्रज्ञ के लक्षण बता रहे हैं, लेकिन आखिर के श्लोक में वे कहते हैं कि ये स्थिति अनिर्वचनीय है। इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल रियली टू डिस्क्राइब दिस काइंड ऑफ स्टेट ऑफ लिविंग लिबरेटेड। और इसलिए उपनिषद भी कहते हैं कि ये स्थिति कैसी है, यतो वाचो निवर्तन्ते अप्राप्य मनसा सह आनंदम ब्रह्मणो विद्वान न बिभेति कुतश्चनेति। तैत्तरीय उपनिषद में हमने देखा था, यतो वाचो निवर्तन्ते, the words and the mind cannot reach there. Aprapya manasasa, neither the mind can reach nor the words can reach. But Anandam Brahmano Vidwan, he is in Brahmananda. And he has become fearless. Na bibheti kutachaneti. Because he is not individual consciousness. So that is the state which has been described in chapter number 18, which is dedicated to the lakshanas of a जीवन मुक्त लक्षण के लिए ये बताया है। And now next chapter 18 is the biggest chapter with 100 slokas. So next time we shall begin with chapter 18. Now it is more than 9, so I will stop here. But if you have time, if you have observations, you are most welcome. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrutyorma Amrutangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Hari Om Tat Sat. Hari Om Tat Sat. Om.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, sir.
Thank you very much.